Downhill World Championships is the prestigious one-off event that is held every year and holds a certain bit of prestige over the World Cup Series, which is arguably a much harder thing to win. Maybe it's because you only get one chance a year, maybe it's because the winner gets to be called the World Champion, which just sounds better than World Cup Series winner. But it's probably because you win a license from the UCI to utilise their trademark rainbow stripes in your personal branding for the rest of your life. For such a prestigious race, it felt very fitting to return to the iconic and steep Champery for Worlds this year. There have been some wild races here in the past, mainly due to the verticality, rawness and disgusting weather that can fall on the Swiss Alps region in a moment's notice. We saw some threat of those treacherous conditions on the second day of practice and junior qualifying, and some sections became nearly unrideable. But luckily for riders, the sun popped out, the track dried off, mostly, and the conditions stayed consistent for some excellent bike racing. Miriam Nicole has had a diabolical season thus far if you were to judge it by our previous standards. She's only managed to race in 2 of the 6 World Cup finals this year due to injury or not qualifying, and in those 2 finals she finished 10th and 12th, which is not where she usually finishes. Because of that, she was not on the shortlist of potential winners for this race, but talent is not fleeting and determination can overcome many obstacles. Miriam looked amazing on the upper slopes of the Champery track, fast and composed, digging tyres in and setting up outside of main lines for turns, holding great corner speed which meant she barely had to pedal. She held her composure, keeping the elbows up and back flat all the way to the finish, then settled into the hot seat for a very long wait. She would remain until a rider with many similarities took to the steep course, another Frenchwoman who's fought with injury and is just finding her feet again. Marine Caballero, after breaking her back mid-season, triumphantly returned to 2nd place in Ligier last week, despite her back not being fully healed. And this week, she looked good. Up top, she was on a similar line to Miriam, possibly showing that the French team share lines at Worlds. Marine was smooth and flowy up top and then attacked the lower slopes like there was a race to win. She took a full second out of Miriam on those tight turns, mostly thanks to the exit speed out of the last one. She carried it all the way to the finish, but Miriam was so fast up top that Marine couldn't quite catch her. It really seems like a lot of the top women have been dealing with struggles this year, as Vali Holl has been absent from the top step all season. She's been consistently close, but a lack of intensity and also some illness has meant the gold medal has eluded her thus far. But there's something about World Champs that fires riders up and brings the best out of them. And we saw some magic from Vali up top with her attacking the slopes with confident aggression. And when she's on, she really drives the bike through her legs, into transitions and corners, and that bike reacts by accelerating down the hill. And accelerate she did, pulling more time through the middle sections and sent it into the open grassy off-camber. She tried to stay high of the rough braking bumps, but gravity pushed her to the inside of the turn and she almost went over the back of it into the netting. She managed to keep it on track, keep it clean, to the finish, cross the line to win her 1st gold medal of the year and her 4th elite World Championship medal in a row. Fair play, Vali.
I really surprised myself, like I really wanted to do well at some point again, but I never expected I would be able to pull it off.
And now, for the elite men, there was some drama during that race. But thankfully, there was some absolutely unbelievable riding getting streamed directly into my eyeballs. First rider to absolutely blow the doors off the hinges was Henry Kiefer. He's shown unreal speed when he's feeling on it, and after seeing his helmet cam from practice here a few weeks ago, I realised he was a solid shout, put him right in my Pinkbike Fantasy team. He started strong, gapping the first tech ledge and just let it rip from there on out. He slammed corners so hard it didn't look real, and at one point he climbed up a bank off the side of the trail and I was like, he's messed it up. But he was just setting up turbo wide for a turn and then just demolished it. The middle split was so fast, I mean, he still had the strength to flow the tech turns and slot himself into the hot seat for a long stint. Ronan Dunn has been so impressive. A man who worked his way up from privateer into the big leagues and has fully embraced the belief that he is one of the best riders in the world. Knowing that, and that he just won the World Cup in Ligier, and that everyone was talking about him being the one to watch this week, then handling that pressure, delivering a flat out but clean run on those slopes, that was impressive. His entrance speed into corners was high and he held that speed through them. He took the risky grass highline gap, messed it up, but didn't slow down as he gained time on Kiefer. Fast through the tight turns, gaining more time, super clean over the crucial scrub crest, carrying more speed than Kiefer. It was going to be down to the wire, but it wasn't quite enough, 0.54 behind. And then we had one of the biggest what-ifs of the day, Andi Kolb, the winner of the European Championships on this very track 1 year ago. Charging down the hill like his life depended on it. He took an inside on that steep chute and he hipped into the rock slab right without even touching the slab, which helped him to be the fastest at split 2. He launched into the off-camera section, charging down towards split 3, went to gap from grass pad to grass pad, but the back wheel missed. What happened? Can we ask him? Andi, what happened?
I think I just pushed as high as possible on the top, made a couple of mistakes, but still tried to focus and just keep going forward. And then on the bottom section, I tried to focus on holding on because my hands were like kind of, not arm pump, but just like weird and a bit tired. I was like, just hold on the bike, you're nearly at the finish line. And literally when I thought that, I lost the rear and huge crash. So I threw it away there, but it's World Champs. All you want to do is win or nothing. So that's it.
Oh man, that sucks, dude. Thanks for the info, and I'm glad you're all good. And then, the Phenom stepped into the game. You know, it's so fun watching racing, the power dynamics of confidence and the mind games at play.
I'm doing everything I can to mentally keep the pressure on him.
You know, he's just another racer in my mind.
The vibes were leaning towards Bruni having the upper hand, so as Jackson was sitting in that gate and the viewers held their collective breath, would he crumble or would he hold firm and go all in? Well, he yanked a gap in the first 50 metres and slotted his wheel into a landing that was a couple of millimetres from being off the track, so it certainly seemed like the game was on. Fast flow with more gaps and high setups, fast creative riding with the hardest shrap on the exit of that mid-track grass section. And then it appeared his brakes momentarily stopped working as he entered the grassy straight. Jackson went high, and then instead of sneaking next to the poles, he preloaded and pulled over 15 foot of certain death to land millimetre perfect on the next ledge. Anyone else would have been going too fast to slow down, but Jackson managed to find composure, find traction, scrub the speed, and almost ride the lower edge of the braking bumps like a rut to sit up and make it round the next corner. And he wasn't done there. He hit those steep, slippy, rough tech turns so hard that it should have, and it did make other riders crumple. But his power to weight must be unreal as he didn't flinch. The exit speed he carried out of that gained him so much time, and then the last critical feature, the blind crest into the roller, he didn't slow down or falter like others before him. He went over that crest flat out, yet still managed to catch just enough transition on the roller to get the 4th fastest speed trap, which is crazy for a light rider, then carry that speed all the way to the finish and smash the fastest time. It's an unbelievable run. But Bruni was still to come. Bruni, the world champ's master. Bruni, the rider who seemed to be figuring out how to play the game against Jackson. If anyone was going to do it, it was Bruni. He fell over. Sorry. I was all getting a bit heavy there. Yeah, it was a weird crash that Bruni had. He took that high line and it started to come good in those drier conditions. He pre-jumped in and you have to brake a little as you enter the turn. It looked like he touched the brakes, his back wheel slid on the support post for the high line, stepped out, dug in, tipped him the wrong way, and then it pushed his weight forward. And I might be wrong. Loic, can we go? Loic. Uncharacteristic crash for you at Worlds. It sucked, but what happened? Can you tell us?
Was pretty fired up for the finals, felt good, the track was dry and you know how I like dry compared to wet, so I went for it, but I had a little mechanical issue with the front end and I had no support, went for that line, and as I landed in that harsh compression, just no support, and I just went over the bars. And yeah, we had a little mishaps on the fork, so if it wasn't there, it would have been somewhere else. So I think no matter if I crashed or not, I don't think I was going to be fast enough for the win. So bit of a bit gutted for giving it that easy, you know, with mechanical, but it's okay. Jackson was running really well, so I don't even know if I could have matched his speed, but just a bit frustrated to go down like this, but it's okay, it's racing.
Thanks for your time. I look forward to seeing the battle in Lenzerheide. Well, that's it for the 2025 World Champs. I hope you enjoyed. Big thanks to the team on the ground providing the visuals and to the UCI for allowing us access. I'll catch you in the Swiss Bike Kingdom. Well, I'll be here in Scotland, but that's where the race is. See you there.